What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Grow Access. Today's topic is going to be prioritizing yourself and prioritizing your life. What is going on, everybody? So today's topic again going to be prioritizing yourself and prioritizing your life. Quick rundown. I don't want to be super long-winded here. Super big shout out to Austin. 2 weeks ago I posted the Thoughtful Thursday video, and I started getting a lot of comments on it. I noticed about how, hey, I caught you from Austin's channel, love what you're doing, and I'm like, man, where are all these people coming from Austin's channel? I mean, that's cool. And so Saturday morning I get ready to go to the plane, and so it's still like midnight in the States or whatever, to go to FABTECH, and I watched Austin's video from last Friday, or 2 Fridays ago, about cold calling. And he gave us a minute-long huge shout-out, mostly to me directly, plus the mentioning Grow Access and saying, like, hey, you should check it out. So big shout-out to him. I'm up to 190 subs on Instagram, which some of that came from Austin, some of it came from FABTECH, and 150,000. Geez, I hope so someday. 150 on YouTube. So if you subscribed, thank you very much. Looking forward to making more videos, and I feel like that's very accomplished for something that's relatively new. I don't want to get too much into FABTECH, but because it's going to have its own video. I took like 80 clips. I made so many connections there, but I did meet some outstanding people. I got to meet pretty much the entire WeldTube crew. They took me under their wing. I got to pretty much hang out with them the entire 2 days that I was there. Went to dinner with them the Monday night. We had an absolute blast. So big shout out again to those guys, Jake, Travis, Clay, Dakota, who came with Travis from Canada, Abraham, Mike, Alan, that runs WeldTube, South Coast Welding Academy. I got to meet Jody from Weld.com, the IC Weld guys, Randy from Illuma Reel, Ismael and Jesus from Outlaw Welding. Shout out to Cody for hooking me up with the shirts to wear to FABTECH. I got to meet Chris from SFE Group, which now runs like Matthew Dearman beveling machines and a couple other brands of like jack stands and this, that, and the other. Anyway, a whole bunch of companies got together. I got to meet Harley from Instagram. I'm sure most of you guys know who she is. Your spouses might know who she is too. I got to link up with Andre, who happened to be her like photographer, videographer there, and so we shared some tips on content creation and stuff that he's doing here and there, and so that'd be a good resource for the future. Mackenzie from Up in Smoke, I got a jacket from him. Big shout out to the Outlaw Leather guys. They actually hooked me up with their Tiger leather. I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, Tiger Hood leather. That's it. Leather black hood. So I can't wait to get home and use it. I left it in the States because of baggage and stuff. But anyhow, I went to Colorado. I got to meet up with Wally. Man, so much to say about the dude. I cannot wait to hang out with you more when I get back to the States in 2 weeks. So my life is completely crazy. This is my last video from my house here in Germany. I'll be in a hotel next week. And then the week after that, I'm back to the States. I got 2 or 3 days and then I'm off to work. So you guys stay tuned. Next week video will be from the hotel, and the week after that will be from the hotel too, I guess. And then I'll be headed back. Thursday night last week, I got to meet up with Dan and Jed Schofield. Awesome people. Went out to Topgolf, got some grub, had a blast. Anyway, back to the topic. Prioritizing yourself and prioritizing your time. If you follow me on Instagram, it's kind of where I've been doing a lot of like day-to-day content, a little bit more, pumping some stuff in there. Last week I made a huge purchase, investment to myself, because that right now is my priority, getting a job, becoming a pipeline helper, becoming a pipeline welder, and so I needed a truck. I daily drive an Audi that I shipped back to the States last week, so I don't even have wheels when I get to the States. And I'm planning on working basically 3 days after I show up. So that's pretty much my style. And so I needed a truck anyway. And so I went ahead and bought a 2015 Dodge 3500 Ram. It's used, like 100,000 miles, 110,000 miles or something. But it's still more of a truck than I really needed as a helper. But I have intentions on, selling the car and kind of handling that a little bit differently. But anyway, it'll be worth it in the long run, especially when I start welding. It's a really nice truck, and I loved it. I drove a Chevrolet, and I've had a Ford in the past, and there wasn't really any deals on Ford, so this is my first Ram product, my first Dodge in 10 years, but I've been around the Jeeps and stuff in the last few years, and I absolutely love them. But Anyway, I have a quick little exercise for everybody if you're following along. Take out a sheet of paper and cut you a line down the middle, and then one off to the side. And then on the two smaller blocks, we're going to number 1 through 5. And then you can cut it in half if you want to. This kind of makes it easier. You number 1 through 5, and then 6 through 10. And then at the top, you want to put professional, and then at the bottom, you want to put personal. And so these are going to be your top 1 through 5 goals for each genre. So your professional goals, and then your personal goals. And so I'll go over mine really quick while we're doing it. It's best to kind of do it in 2 chunks. So professional goals, my number 1 is to be a pipeline helper. And then number 2 is going to be a good pipeline helper. Because, getting a job is getting a job, who knows. But my goal is, I know I can't be the best of the best, but I can sure try. So it's kind of a cheap way to get a second goal in there. I probably could have just said be a good pipeline helper, but the first step to me is getting the job. I do have one pretty much pending, waiting on me, assuming everything goes well and nothing happens between now and December 9th. 9th, yeah. 9th is the day I'm supposed to start. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. So my number 3 goal is to learn how to downhill weld. I'd never done any downhill welding. Haven't really done any stick welding, a little bit of TIG. I mostly MIG stuff around the house, and I'm by no means good. And then my number 4 goal is to rig weld. So once I learn how to weld, I want to rig out, whatever you want to call it, and hop on pipeline and pipeline weld. And then number 5, I kind of left blank. I did 4 and 4 for this one because I kind of just quick jotted it down. I kind of do this routinely, but trying to be more focused to the videos and purpose. Number 5, I guess I could kind of cheat again and say good rig welder. I'd like to be well versed. I want to do all 3 MIG, stick, TIG off the truck, like my boy Wally. So I'm trying to be as skilled as he is, and I know it'll take me a long time to get there, but I would like to be versatile. Who knows? Pipeline might take a dump in the next few years. The crash is coming at some point in time. And if I can mobile MIG or mobile TIG, then that might open up more opportunities for me in those times. So for my personal goals, my number 1 is to be debt free. I've carried a lot of personal debt over the years, and not to be too personal, but credit card debt, personal loans, like stuff like that I've just carried over the years. I mean, it's been managed, but my number 1 goal now is to be debt free, and that's something that I was entertaining when I came to Germany. The finance part didn't work out like they really kind of said it was going to. But that's how life works. So my number 2 goal is, after being debt free, is I'd like to buy property. So get right back into some more debt. But I'd like to own property. Right now I have a house in Colorado on like a 1/4 acre in a subdivision, which to me is nowhere near enough. I'd like to build a shop and be able to have cars and whatever else. And I'd like to have property to put it on. My next goal is one that I've had for a long time, and I have more goals past this one, but my number 3 goal, which number 8 on the sheet, is to make $150,000 a year. Some people that's not a lot, and some people that's a ton, but to me that's more money than I've ever made by a long shot. More money than my parents have ever made by a long shot. And that's just been something that I've had for a long time. For when I was a kid, it was like $100,000 a year, but as you get older, you kind of get to be more realistic on things. 150 is kind of like my comfortable goal that I'm shooting for. I know there's opportunities to make 2 or 3 times that. But for now, my goal is to make 150. I have a long-term goal of being a millionaire, multimillionaire, and so hopefully through smart investments and due diligence, it will come. But starting with the small rock goal here being 150,000 a year, I hope that that's something that I can attain in the near future. So my number 9 goal here is to pay cash for my next fun car. I'm a big car person. I've bought cars, that were like my Datsun ended up being a full kind of restoration, resto-mod type deal. If you haven't checked it out already, it's Jaws 240Z, Jawz 24Z on Instagram. Twin turbo LS swap that I built pretty much in my garage, for the most part single-handedly. Had some help here and there. Actually had help welding in the cage, because that's not something I wanted to put my life on, was my own welds on the cage in case it came to it, or anybody else's life more so. If it was really just me in the car, I probably would have just done it, but you never know who's going to be in the car, who's going to drive, when something's going to happen. So I took a buddy of mine that I trusted to do it. And then number 10 goal, I didn't really have one, but I guess I could put that millionaire thing. But to me, I feel like I should kind of be left off the sheet, and these goals can always kind of move up and upgrade. And I felt like that was one that was just kind of expanding the same one, but almost like the rig welder, good welder, good helper, pipeline helper. But so on the other side, we're going to do contacts, and so A through J gets you 1 through 10, and if you don't get 10, that's fine. And for the sake of the exercise, I kind of left off a few people here to leave some personal business out of it. But my number 1 contact would be Wally. I talk to him pretty much every day. He's been a fantastic influence for me. Then I got Jake, Adam, my buddy that's a pipeline, hoping to be a pipeline welder. He right now is a welding student. I actually saw his pictures on Instagram where he's getting ready to take his 5G test at school. So good luck to you, buddy. I hope that you make it if you're watching this. Then my brother, Dustin, Travis. Then I got WeldTube, Clay. I got my boss from here, which I'm trying to leave kind of my stuff here out because I'm transitioning, but at the same time, she does have some influence on my next job in a sense because I'm leaving this one, And then Dakota, the rig welder from Canada. I actually talked to him, whatever, yesterday, a couple days ago. Man, this thing's all crooked. Anyway, so now unfold your paper back out. So you had your, I don't know if you're like me and you fidget, I had A, B, C side. So now you're gonna kind of unfold it. Now I want you to take your numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4 through 10, and line it up next to the person over here on your contacts list that goal corresponds to. For me, I didn't write them down because I do this, like I said, pretty routinely. And go ahead and say everybody on the contacts list, basically with the exception of my brother, would have a direct relationship to one of my goals. All of these guys are welders except for those 2. All of these guys could help me be a good helper by influencing basically what they like their helper to do. All of them could be potential to me learning to downhill weld and then becoming a rig welder, getting a job. I could be the rig welder, but if I don't get the job, then I'm just still a helper with no job. And then on the personal side, the job then leads to the money stuff because pretty much all of these personal goals that I have were to be money related. Not that money should always be your driver. I know it kind of comes off to me a lot of times as my goal, but to me, my goal is to make money to get the life that I want, not so much having the number, like the millionaire goal is just not some arbitrary number that I came up with when I was a kid. But to me, the $1 million means that I can, not work as much or at all, or be able to focus my attention on my other goals, which left off of here because those are other term goals. But, like I have a long-term goal of opening a nonprofit specifically for veterans. I'd like to help other people, be that through education, teaching classes on climbing, or I'd love to open a rock climbing gym. And, that millionaire number for my personal life could be some of the capital that sponsors that, or that could be what pays my day-to-day life while I focus now on the nonprofit side. So that's why a lot of times I think it comes off that I have a small obsession with money. I try not to use the term as much, but I know Jake sells hoodies that says money motivated, and I really like that because if you're not, some people are dedicated to the money specifically. It's, they just have to have $1 million so they can buy 42 Beamers or 2 Ferraris or whatever it may be. And that stuff's cool to me. But to me, I'd rather have the money to finance the life that I want because I want to, work to live, not live to work. So anyway, some of you guys, you'll be really surprised. I've done this exercise with some people, like my brother is one. And he was kind of surprised, he went through his text and, Facebook messages and wrote down the people that he had talked to, and I kind of made him do 10. And there were like 2 people at his list that was anywhere close to his goals. And that's alarming, like if you're not prioritizing your time, like I don't know if you've ever ridden motorcycles, any of you guys, but the saying is like you go wherever your head is. And so if you look to the left, you're going to lean to the left. And then if you lean to the left, you're going to wreck to the left. So the same thing goes here, like if you ever hear Conor McGregor talking about it, he often talks about manifesting his goals. And it's always, like when he became the champ and he won, the 2 titles, he talked so much about how he manifested his way there. He always dreamed about it. He thought about it. And to me, that's what I do. The pictures on my computer, the background on my phone, there's pictures in my house that I've printed out from work. People make fun of me for printing out memes and motivational quotes and putting them on my desk, but all in the office. I just have multiple pictures of different quotes or things or sayings or logos. Like I have Wally's logo printed out on the wall. I have Row Access printed out and put it on the wall. Because those are things that remind me, like even on the crappy days, like, okay, all right, this is what I'm trying to do. This is going to get me to where I want to be. And if you don't constantly remind yourself, you're never going to get there. You can set a goal and then you start forgetting about it and then you lose sight of the picture, and then you start like, oh well, now I'm only focused on buying this Corvette. Then you're probably going to get the Corvette, but you're not going to get to the $1 million goal, you know. And so to me, it's the other way around. I want to get to the long-term goal, so then I can kind of back up and do the other little small things that I want. But anyhow, the video is getting super long-winded, so hope you guys watched it this far. If you have, congratulations. Thank you for all the subscriptions, guys that are watching. I'm really excited to get back to the States in 2 weeks and start working, and then actually doing some work content. I'm going to try to shorten up the videos that are going to be work related, you know. We'll see how it goes, but YouTube's cool analytics say that most people stop watching around the 4.5, 5 minute mark. So that kind of tells me that people are only wanting 4 to 5 minutes of content. But, you know, some people are going to watch the whole thing, some people won't. But I'd much rather produce 10 5-minute videos than one 50-minute video that gets no views, you know. So, and again, I don't really care about the views, but it's stuff that I'm putting effort in it, and I hope that somebody gets some value out of it, because to me it's just about helping somebody else. Because I know, I mean, since I've started this, I've probably had 50, 60 people in some way, shape, or form reach out to me like, hey, how'd you get into this? This is awesome, you know, like a ton of comments, you know, whatever it may be. But so thanks everybody for the support up to this point. I'm looking forward to doing more with it. I'm going to put a link in the description. I started up a little Teespring store. I don't really make any money off of it. I would much rather you guys have something cool if you want. So there's mugs, shirts, hoodies, phone cases, whatever. So again, I'll put it down in the description to support Row Access. Buy it if you don't care. But, you know, I've had people ask me, you know, like, hey, when you guys going to have a shirt or whatever. But yeah, so thanks for watching. See you guys soon. Peace.